Money.
Oh, that's a hard one. Nothing's coming. Abundance. Just manifest the money. Just think about it in your hands, it'll come.
Neutrality is very rare around the topic of money. I almost want to say what went wrong.
It makes zero difference to me, frankly. It's never about the amount.
What's the highest you've ever charged?
I'd say $10,000 for coaching. Don't think about the money. The money is a byproduct.
I've been playing a game with everyone who's on this show, so I want to play with you. Are you ready?
Yes, please.
It's word association. I'll say a word and you'll respond.
Okay.
People.
Together.
Holiday.
Fun.
Money.
Oh, that's a hard one. Nothing's coming. Abundance.
Took a while though.
I know. That is interesting.
That is interesting. I'll ask you
Nothing was coming.
We're going to come back to money, clearly.
Okay.
What do I normally ask? Debt.
Never.
So interesting. Although that's not a word.
I know.
Let's go to money. Why did nothing come up?
You know, I have an interesting relationship with money where I've never really wanted it, but I've also realized why you need it, right? So I don't think about money. It's not really a thought process that I have where I'm constantly chasing money or wanting money. Of course, I want things. I want conveniences. I want experiences. I want maybe the odd materialistic thing. But I've never been the hoarder, you know, who's like, I need to make this amount of money by this amount of time. My brain doesn't function that way. So I think of money more as a vehicle than as a resource on its own, if that makes sense. So when someone says money, I'm like, okay. All right. Good.
Do you come from privilege?
I'd say not privilege. I'd say we're pretty middle class growing up. But I've seen what privilege can do. I have witnessed privilege. But of course, when you say privilege, I'm talking about financially. I have privilege in terms of course, I have security, I have a roof over my head, I don't have food insecurity, et cetera, et cetera. But I have witnessed what extreme privilege looks like, and I don't relate to it.
Well, let's go there. What is it that's unrelatable?
I would say those who have experienced a lot of privilege, at least the people that I have witnessed, their mindset changes. And a lot of it becomes very, very financial oriented or about the things that you have rather than the things that you are. I think the identity shifts to your possessions rather than your identity. So I think those who are privileged but maintain a sense of grounding, those are probably the folks that I would relate to the most, where they're there to still serve a purpose or a mission, which is something bigger than them, rather than the things that they have, if that makes sense.
Have you always looked at money in a way of being a vehicle, or was it something that changed in you?
I would have to say always, because I have also experienced hardships as well in my family and my past. So I've seen what comfort looks like, and I've also seen what hardship looks like. So I'm not unaware of what money can do. But I also know that it was never about the amount of money. Never. It was about having a roof over your head. It was about having food. It was about having transportation, about being able to have an education, et cetera, et cetera. So I think I've always seen, okay, you're either able to have food or not, rather than I either have $10,000 or not, if that makes sense. You know, so it's never been about the amount or the money. It's about the result of the money or what the money can provide.
And if we think about your business and how you operate, which I don't know much about in terms of like your pricing and, you know, your offers, how has money affected your pricing structure, and your offers?
I started charging peanuts, actually, Ivy, when I first started out. Because when I first started, I was in a very secure, high-level corporate job, and money was not really something that I was after when I started my business, started my journey. So when I first dipped my toe in this online business world, first of all, that was a very alien concept to me. I did not think it was possible for someone to pay me something online. Like, who does that? You know, as a millennial, people are paying other people online? Like, what? Never. So at first it was to test a concept, to see whether there was a demand for anything. And it was also a lot of fun to say, okay, I love talking about this, love doing this. Someone wants to pay me. Okay. And I charged very, very less. I think it was very, very low. And I started getting more people who wanted to pay me. And then it became a supply demand thing where I just did not have time, which needed me to raise my prices a little bit, which I did. And then at a certain point, I again hit a wall. And again, I raised my prices a little bit. Clients still came. I'm like, oh, so this is more about value. It's not about the amount of money that they're willing or not willing to pay. It's about the perceived value that they see in you. So for me, it was more about a journey on also self-belief that am I capable of charging this much online? This is so strange. Like, why, why are people paying me? And then that shifted into an identity state where, okay, this is what I bring to the table, and this is why I should be charging what I charge.
How low was low for you?
I think I started at either $500 for a brand identity package. And this was just doing branding strategy for a startup company. And I charged $500. And to me, that felt low because at this time I was already speaking to a lot of American audiences or American companies. So I had a sense of that. But this company that came to me was an Indian company. And they're like, well, this is what we can pay. And I'm like, okay. All right. That's fine. I'll take it. And then that snowballed from there because I did start working with more US and Canadian companies, and that also affected the value and what I charge.
What's the highest you've ever charged?
I'd say $10,000 for coaching. That's mainly what I do now. I do a lot of coaching now, and I think that is. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've worked on. No, I think $10,000 is for coaching is what I max out at.
Nice. What is a narrative that you remember about money from your childhood?
There was a lot going on in childhood, Ivy. It was chaotic. It was very, very chaotic because there was a point that we had a lot of money, then we didn't have money, and then there was a lot of displacement, and that's a whole other story that I won't get into. But it was always about, do we have enough to make it? That's what it was, and this was mainly during a couple of years in between in my teens. But as I said, I've seen all sides, right? I've seen not privilege, but I've seen comfort. But I've also seen the hardship side. So it was always like, okay, do we have enough? But that was a means to the end, which is, okay, are we able to afford things?
Yeah.
That was the conversation. And I think it's ingrained that you cannot take money for granted. That's what's ingrained. You know, a lot of people are like, no, money is just energy. Think it and it will come. No, that's it's okay. Just think it, just manifest the money. Just think about it and your hands will come. I have full respect for those who do that kind of work, but my narrative is that money is a vehicle, as I said, so that you can be comfortable in life, so that you do not have hardships in life anymore. And as long as you are comfortable, nothing else really matters.
So I'll respond to that with the think it and it will come. My opinion very much is that you must think it and it will come, but you must also take the action because without it, it won't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Thinking it and it will come is more of like seeing the opportunities, being of the mindset that you can actually have it. Because if you're in lack and if you think like, oh, it'll never come to me, then you're the opposite of that. But what I see in you is neutrality, which is rare. Neutrality is very rare around the topic of money, which is why I love this conversation. And I'm just so perplexed over how someone who has seen hardships, who has seen the comforts, is in this space of neutrality. I almost want to say what went wrong because I
Do you mean that I should be wanting more money or not wanting money?
doesn't matter. It usually goes either way. I don't have a either or. I'm like, no, I don't have like it should be this. I'm like, it's usually this.
No, I am not unaware of that fact. I've been told that before, that you should be more money minded. I'm like, why?
No, I love it. It's
I'm like,
fabulous.
but it makes Ivy, it makes zero difference to me, frankly, because for me it's an identity thing. Am I capable of doing a certain thing? Am I capable of charging something? Am I capable of landing a certain client? Am I capable of achieving a brief? Am I capable of taking someone from point A to point B and achieve a transformation for them? For me, it's an inner sense of confidence that comes from that. It's never about the amount.
Yeah.
It's never about this is the amount of money that I want this month. I have never thought that, but more like, oh, I had 4 clients this month and they were all success stories. Okay, this means I can maybe raise my rates so that I can attract better clients,
Yeah.
higher quality clients, right? So that's the mindset that I go in because it's a logical progression rather than, oh, I need to make 10K this month, therefore I need 10 clients. Okay. That's just not the way I operate.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. You're speaking to a kindred spirit. This is pretty much, I love talking about money because I think people don't talk about money and it stigmatizes it.
Yeah.
And this is why I have this money series. On the form, you'll remember one question, and I've said this now to pretty much editor, please cut this out because it'll get repetitive. But essentially, the one thing that was mentioned several times, like, I don't know what to charge because people don't talk about the price.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the reason people don't talk about the price is because that's talking about money. And people don't want to talk about money, or they don't want to talk about price. And then they don't want to reveal what they charge because of competition. And I'm like, oh my God, guys, just share, just
Yeah.
equalize the playing field, make it better for everyone. Let those who are not rising rise up, and you can rise further. It doesn't matter. But I just, so yeah, so for me, the narrative around money is interesting to just observe and see. And I work within sales, right? So I help people with selling. And the biggest problem I see is that people just they can't say the price. And I'm like, what's the problem here? Okay, I don't say that. But I'm like, let's not make this a big problem. Let's make it a lot more commonplace. Which makes you the unique situation, the unique person.
That's not lost on me, Ivy, because I understand why people don't talk about price, right? Because it's a very taboo thing to show your cards, so to speak, right? Like you want to maintain this illusion that there's the sense of mystery that, oh, I don't know how much this person charges, but clearly they're getting so much work, and clearly people are just throwing money at this person, so it must be amazing.
Yeah.
And I've seen this in this coaching industry where people are kind of like hiding what they're charging rather than putting it up front. I see both sides. I understand why someone would want to kind of withhold that information because it does kind of deter a lot of people to even reach out to, because that number is so big and it's so scary where they don't even want to reach out.
Yeah.
But I think maintaining a sense of expectation where you normalize, where if you want a certain kind of transformation, which is not just a surface level thing that you can get from something that you download, versus working with an expert, working with someone who has been there, done that, knows your struggle inside out, can help you get to where you want to go, that comes with a premium. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But people will never talk about the amount. They'll never talk about the money. They'll skirt around it.
Yeah.
And I understand why they do that, right? Because it's just the norm now in the industry.
Yeah. And I don't mind people strategically not putting their prices on the website from a strategic perspective. But when asked, I appreciate transparency. So I think I have my prices on at the moment. I go through phases. I'm like
Yeah.
on, off, whatever I want. And but if anyone ever asks me in the DMs if they aren't transparent at that moment, I'm like, of course I'll answer. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
hide it from you. Like whether you work with me or not. But a lot of people go like, no, I must show the value. I'm like, but these are price shoppers. They need to be satisfied, and
Yeah.
they're going to be making a decision regardless on price, even if you tell it afterwards.
Oh,
So
absolutely. So Indians, like I'm Indian, right? We love value hunting. Like we love a good bargain.
mhm,
So it's a very, very upfront conversation. How much is it?
yeah,
Before you go into any benefits, whatever outcome that you are helping me with, how much is it?
mhm,
So I'm very desensitized to that conversation because I take it as a given
right,
that one of the first three questions that they ask me is going to be about money, and I have zero shame in revealing that.
mhm,
This is how much we charge, and then that is up to you whether you would like to continue the conversation or not, and you have full right to do that. But if someone directly asks me in the DM, how much are your services, and then I skirt around the topic, absolutely not. No, we're not wasting time.
yeah.
Like, but you're wasting time by not talking about your prices. Makes no sense.
Yeah. I once analyzed a sales call, and I think it was 15 minutes in, someone asked about the price. And then it took 20 minutes more. They didn't answer. And I was just thinking, it's 20 minutes now. When are you going to share the price? I'm getting really stressed here. And it's like this long conversation, this long, and this was before they had started training with me. I needed to get like a baseline of what their sales was like, and I'm like, you haven't even answered the question. And I usually say, if you don't want to answer the question immediately, just say like, I'm going to share that with you. Just give me a moment to have a few questions, and
Yes.
then you can buy some time. And and I get it. Sometimes you're just not ready to share it because maybe you have to think about it because you're nervous. I understand that, but communicate at least. That's the very least. I I want to thank you for your openness. This has been a really, really beautiful conversation. I think it's one that people need to hear so that they don't see all the nervosity, they don't see all the pain. They need to see the neutrality. And, because I go from the ones who are super abundant and they're like, oh, I love money, money comes, and the ones who are like, oh, no, 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 I don't mean to make
Money
fun of
comes.
anyone. Or like, the ones who are like, oh no, I'll never get it. I'm not worthy of it. And then there's the neutrality of like, this is a functional thing. So you're a breath of fresh air. I love it. And thank you. Do you have any last gifts of wisdom you might want to impart on anyone?
So I'm not a money expert. I've never claimed to be. I will never claim to be a money expert. But I will say, as a first-hand success story of myself, that no matter how low your self-esteem is, or what kind of introversion you have, or however your self-concept and perceptions are about yourself, you will be the first one to strike out yourself before anybody else does. You have to give yourself a shot. So if you're looking at the coaching industry or the service providing industry or the people out there who are building businesses online and you're thinking, how amazing would that be? But I don't think I can do it. That's something you should check. Don't think about the amount. Don't think about the money. The money is a byproduct. Think about, am I capable of doing the work that is required to help the people that I'm meant to help? That is the foundational aspect. Everything else, money-wise, business-wise, will fall in place. You just have to be flexible. Just have to write it out. That's it.
That's a beautiful finish. Thank you, Seema, for coming along and playing and having this really good conversation.
Thank you, Amy. This was fun.
Fabulous. Thank you.